Okay, welcome back. Last time we finished off everything with Team Flare and defeated Lysander once and for all, and we also caught Yveltal, which had been randomised to a Reshiram, which is kinda nice, because now I have a potential Reshiram available. Okay, so, we now have a new clip on the Holocaster. Do you have a minute? I'd like to talk to you face to face. Let's meet in Couriway Town. Fortunately enough for me, Couriway Town is quite literally just the next town over. And before I actually leave, I do want to do a couple more things. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy any new. Not gonna buy any new outfits because I do have access to one in Lumios, and I also have basically just the next town over. Like I know Snowbelle City has some, and I don't want any of those, but Sweet Scent could come in very handy for hordes. However, I'm gonna buy probably just 33 Ultra Balls, and that's probably gonna be enough to get me to the end of the game. I don't have all that many encounters left. I think there's like maybe 6 or 7. And who knows, I might get something great with some of them, I might get something terrible, who knows? Because, well, I sure don't. Okay, so, on Route 18, I can find Pupitar, I can find Graveler, I can find Gerda, I can find Torkoal, I can find Heatmore, and I can find Durant. There's also, like, a Shaking Bush further up the route where it's, like, a guaranteed Durant. So, I honestly probably should have done that, but I get a Durant anyway, so honestly, I wouldn't be too mad about getting to use a Durant, because even though it is quad weak to fire, like, it may be quad weak to fire, but Bug Steel is a pretty okay typing otherwise, and it also just has really good attack, solid defense, and is really fast. So I could get some decent use out of a Durant if I catch it. And fortunately, since I still have the Rocky Helmet on Circuit, I should be able to probably just throw Pokeballs at it, and eventually it'll just whittle itself down on the Rocky Helmet damage. Because, honestly, even though I do have... Like, okay, it did drop my defense there, so maybe I need to be a little bit more careful. Oh, that's a crit. That is a crit throw, so that should just stay in right now. Shake once, caught. Fantastic. That is a fantastic mechanic. I think it was added in Gen 5. But that is a fantastic mechanic. I still greatly appreciate it even now. So ideally, I think if I could choose the nature for this Durant, I'd probably pick either Adamant or Modest. No, Adamant or Jolly, sorry. Modest would be pretty bad. And we get... Okay, neutral nature isn't too bad. And it already comes with some really solid moves. I wouldn't even need any TMs. Hustle isn't exactly an ideal ability for it, but hey. And also, this'll jump out and this'll just be another Durant. Does it want to be a shiny? No, it does not. Technically, I get... Like, I could probably argue that that's a static, because it is always there. But obviously, I'm not gonna do that, because I feel like that would kind of be cheating. I could go into this house and battle the trainer inside. They do inverse battles. So basically, if you know your type matchups, it's, hey, the type matchups are now completely flipped. So now fire is super effective against water, and fire resists water, and fire is super effective on water in inverse battles, and stuff like that. Basically, pretty much it is, if you know your type matchups, do them in reverse, and we get Crush Grip. That could actually come in pretty handy here. I think normally that's Shadow Ball. I think normally the TM for Shadow Ball is in here. But honestly, I do not know what TM97 is off the top of my head. I want to say it's something like... I don't actually know. I think Substitute is 92. I think Trick Room is 91 normally, so I don't really know. Anyway, Terminus Cave has a few potential encounters. I could get Graveler, I could get Pupitar. Apparently it really wants me to take a second Durant, because I don't know, man, I seem to be finding Durants all over the shop today. Is the game telling me that something is going to happen to Sparks and I should add Durant to the team? Because honestly I'm a little bit concerned, because Sparks is actually... I don't know, Sparks is pretty close to getting Air Slash and Bug Buzz. Okay, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to fast forward until I find something that isn't a Durant, because this might take a little while, apparently. Okay, I found a Sandslash. I mean, honestly, I'm not too mad about that. Sandslash is a kind of cool Pokemon. Obviously, it's not the strongest Pokemon in the world, it's not the fastest Pokemon in the world or anything. But honestly, I think Sandslash is a nice kind of... It's a humble Pokemon, you know? Like, it's not outstanding in any way, I don't think. But I don't know, it's a Pokemon that I've always kind of looked at fondly. It's a Pokemon I've always been fond of, even if it's one that I've never really used all that much, because I'll be honest, there's never really much call to use one beyond the fact of just like, oh, I like this Pokemon. Because, realistically, even in Gen 1, it's kind of just outclassed by a lot of the other ground types, I think. Because, you know, it's in a gen where Marowak exists, where Rhydon and Golem and Nidoking exist. So, unfortunately for Sandslash, it's kind of just outclassed at every turn. However, this one is a sassy nature and has Sand Veil. Okay, not exactly ideal, but hey, I probably won't be putting it on the team, but hey, who knows? I do kind of actually want to use a Sandslash at some point, though, because it's one of those Pokemon that I did use once playing Heart Gold. I had a Sandslash named Digdug, because I think in that playthrough I named all my Pokemon after like old like arcade games and stuff. I remember I'm pretty sure I had Firebrand the Arcanine. I know that was on the team. And I know I had Digdug the Sandslash. I think I had a Sneasel? No, I mustn't have had a Sneasel. No, I don't think I had a Sneasel. I don't know what was on that team. I don't remember. It was like 5 years ago. Anyway, we also could have found a Torkoal on this route. I'm also kind of surprised it took so long to find something else in that cave. Because, like, I could have had Graveler, I could have had Sandslash, I could have had Pupitar. If I was playing Pokemon X, I could have had a potential Lairon. But, no, I just found Durant after Durant after Durant. Okay, so, to be totally honest, I'm kind of prepared for this to be a slightly shorter episode than the last one. But at the same time, I am also actually going to be a lot more willing to sacrifice some Pokemon to... Mostly just to get through this episode safely. Because, I'll be honest, the rest of this episode is going to be a bit of a danger zone. So, I'm going to bring this Swanna and this Floatzel with me just for now. And I'm going to put Hayataro out front. Because I have an important battle coming up. And I should probably just quickly double check to make sure that I healed, and I did. Fantastic. But before I do that... Oh, a couple of items here, I think. We find some black glasses, okay. I'm not going to go up to the train station yet for story purposes. And over here we have another item. It is a Gardevoirite. Cool that we find another Mega Stone, but I'll never get to use it. However, if we sit on this bench, we get an amazing just look at the waterfall. That's fantastic. I love just all those little things in Kalos. Okay, so... I need to be prepared right now because I have another important battle coming up. Hello! Because, well, the professor did say he wanted to see us, so here he is. I have to apologize to you about Lysander. I'm very sorry for all the trouble he caused. And I'd also like to thank you. I'm sincerely grateful for what you did for all the Pokemon and people of this world. And by stopping Team Flare, you also saved Lysander. I always knew that he desired a beautiful world. And maybe someday the population and maybe someday the population of people and Pokemon will actually increase to where resources become very scarce. If someone acts out of greed in such a world, surely some will go without. If all things keep acting that way, there'll be nothing left at all in the end. Why, there won't even be anything left to steal, will there? But what I really wanted for him was to put his ego aside and lead everything to greater heights. I never had this discussion with him, though, so I'm partially responsible for this. Well, enough of that. I want you and your Pokemon to take everything you learned from your journey so far and hit me with your very best shot. So, we now have a rematch with Professor Sycamore, where he will lead with Venusaur, then he'll go to Blastoise, and then end with Charizard. Funnily enough, well, I guess he doesn't have access to it, but he doesn't actually use any Mega Evolutions, but he does have all 3 Evolved Catno stars. So I'm just going to hit this Venusaur with Flamethrower, and that'll probably one-shot. To be honest, I'm worried about the Blastoise and nothing else, hence why I picked up 2 more water Pokemon. Because, honestly, I'm not too worried if I lose either of those, and I might be able to just kind of whittle them down a bit. So, I'm gonna assume this thing's gonna go for probably Aqua Tail or Hydro Pump or something. Okay, went for Rain Dance. That isn't actually all that bad for me. That's not too bad for me, because now I probably survive 1 turn regardless, so I might be able to get just a bit of residual damage in with Whirlpool. Okay, it's going for Skull Bash. That definitely isn't good for me, but hey, I think we should be okay. And by that, I mean, I'm just going to go for Whirlpool again and hope I can get as much damage as possible out. To be totally honest, I'm not that bothered about the idea of losing Floatzel, because, I'll be honest, it's just a Floatzel. Apologies to all the Floatzel enjoyers. Like, apologies to everyone who likes Floatzel, it's just not a Pokemon I've ever been particularly invested with. And also, you know, it's kind of, I would rather keep my 4 Pokemon that I know are kind of reliable alive. I mean, obviously, anything could happen. Like, I could get hit with just a random bad crit and lose something straight away, but hey, who knows? Maybe Swanile hopefully Swanile will just get me enough flinches and actually get rid of this Blastoise. Honestly, it's looking like that may be the case. And the Swanna has defeated the Blastoise, because 1 more Air Slash will bring it down, and I don't think the Professor heals. Yeah, well, that Swanna brings down Blastoise. Fantastic. And since it's just the Charizard left, I'm not too worried about it. Because I can just switch to Circuit, and it can't really do a whole lot. Because its physical attacks will be weaker. Like, its physical attacks will do less because of my high defense, and because of Rocky Helmet will reflect some damage back. And because of the rain, the fire-type moves won't do all that much. So basically, I'm in a pretty solid position here. I don't think I can really lose. So let's just go for Night Slash. I'll probably just hit him with a couple of Night Slashes and finish off this fight. To be honest, I think I should probably go for Acrobatics. It'd probably be a tiny bit more powerful. But either way, it won't really make any more difference, because the Slash will land now. A crit definitely wouldn't have killed regardless. Rocky Helmet reflects some damage back. And Night Slash finishes the fight, and with that, Charizard goes down. And Circuit hits level 56. Very nice. Okay, that is another level up. And we saved Swanna, so I'm pretty happy with that. You really are something. You and your Pokemon have developed some such strong bonds by spending time together and by caring about one another. That's why you and your Pokemon are so strong. Okay, so with that, we also secure some money. And, okay. The strength you found is simply marvelous, and you truly love and trust your Pokemon. A treasure of mine is hidden in this town. If you'd like, try to find it. Well, I must be off then. I have many preparations I have to attend to. I have a little surprise planned for all of you to thank you for fighting Team Flare and saving Kalos. So, I know that I've mentioned a couple of times just the kind of missed potential in Kalos and just how things weren't explored. I would have, like, I wanted to see more of Lysander and Professor Sycamore, because evidently they are, like, long-term friends. Like, they've evidently been friends for a very long time, and I think there's more to them. Like, obviously, because Professor Sycamore just outright states, yeah, I feel partially responsible for him. It's like, yeah, show me more of that. Show me how that, like, impacts Professor Sycamore after the game. And also, I've completely just messed this up. Okay, so, I'm picking up the Gyarados, and I think I'm probably never going to use the Granbull, I think. So I'll also bring that. Mostly just for... No, wait. Yeah, mostly just for Intimidate, I think. Because I need to be a bit more prepared for some upcoming battles. So this may be a bit dangerous, and yes, I am throwing a potential Gyarados into harm's way for maybe nothing, but hey, anything could happen. But yeah, I would love to see more just about Professor Sycamore and Lysander and their kind of shared history. Oh, we have another hidden item here. There we go, a Pataya Berry. And we have one more item to pick up before we can find... Okay, another Charizard IY. I think I already had one. But hey, can't really complain. Now, So Professor Sycamore mentioned his treasure, and the only thing that tells you where it is when you're here, your character will tilt their head to look at it. It's a message written in neatly carved letters. To the person reading this, what are you like now? Did you become who you wanted to be? For starters, what was the person you wanted to become even like? I don't know, but it would be wonderful if you can boast that you're living each day to its fullest. To future Sycamore. From the Sycamore dreaming of the future. And that's the little message he left for you in town. And this lady will give you a TM for U-turn, which has been randomized to beat up, which means I will never use it. Because, I'll be real, beat up is kind of a useless move. It's like base 10. I think it's like a base 10 or base 20 dark type move. And it does get multiple hits in. It's like one for each part of your team. It's basically your entire party just jumps the target, but at the same time, kinda useless, not gonna lie. Also, I should... Wait, I didn't bring a Pokemon of Surf, did I? No, I did not. Okay. However, I do need to be a little bit more prepared for this upcoming fight. Because, well, if you've played this game before, or seen a playthrough of it before, you know exactly what's coming up. And, yeah, historically, it's maybe a bit of a pain. It's, you know, a little bit of a danger zone in the game. And I accidentally... Okay, to be honest, I thought I was going to manage to sneak past them, but I guess not. Okay, that's fine, Mo. That's fine. It's just a Pumpkaboo. Realistically, what's it going to do to stop me? Okay, so we just land Flamethrower, and then we assumably just Flamethrower whatever else comes in, because she'll have assumably just Ghost types. So that is a second larger Pumpkaboo, okay. So, I guess I just Flamethrower that as well, and that should one-shot. Fantastic. Pumpkaboo is an interesting Pokemon because it and its evolved form Gorgeist, they just came in like 4 separate sizes, and that was a little bit weird. Okay, well, a Whipped Dream. We will never use that. We'll never use that because it's an evolutionary item to get... I think it's the one you need to get Slurpuff. And, yeah, I just won't be using that because I won't be able to get a Slurpuff in this game. And by that I mean I had the chance to get Swirlix ages ago and didn't. So, yeah, I won't be getting one. Wait, how do I get a... Oh, it's down here. Either way, we have to go through these flowers and get an encounter, and we get a Drapion, which is in fact dupes, because I have a Skorupi in the box. So, let's knock out this Drapion and move on, see what else we can get. On this route, I know there's a few potentially really solid encounters. I know that I could get a Haunter, I could potentially get a Quagsire, I could get Arbok, I think, in a Horde, I could get Weepinbell, I could find a Sliggoo. Sliggoo might be the best option here, but at the same time, evolving it's a little bit of a pain because it has to level up in the rain. But either way, I think we should be okay, and there's an item here. It is an Alakazite. I mean, I won't be getting an Alakazam, but hey, I think I found most of the Mega Stones in the game now. I know I have a lot of them, if nothing else. And can I find a Pokemon that isn't Drapion, please? I'm just going to run from stuff that isn't Drapion until I finally find a new encounter. Because, you know, I would quite like to move on with the episode sometime today. It is a horde of Weepinbell. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to fast forward until I knock out the 4 until I can just catch one. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so we caught a Weepinbell. Wasn't exactly the optimal, wouldn't be my first choice of encounter. And honestly, I kind of wish I could have just found a wild one that was like level 48, because I know those are also a common encounter on this route, but hey, I guess I can't really complain. I now have another grass type available to me. And of course the Sliggoo turns up right after, I guess just to salt the wound a little bit. Okay, now I need to be a little bit prepared, because this is where the danger comes in. I know they pop up when I'm about halfway over the bridge, though. So, let's quickly get rid of our status ailments and heal, and then shuffle things around just a teensy little bit. Okay, so I am going to teach Water Spout to Hayataro in order to deal with a couple of Pokemon that will appear in this kind of little boss rush. So, I'll get rid of Psychic just for now, because Psychic won't get all that much use here. Then, because there's a couple of Pokemon in this boss rush that are actually just super fast, just to be a bit safer and make sure I outspeed them, I'm going to give Hayataro the Choice Scarf. That's kind of just like to lock in 100% I know I will outspeed. Now, do I have something to boost up fighting type moves? No. Okay, in that case, I'll just give the Scope Lens to T-Zark to make sure he just hits a bit harder. Well, not hits a bit harder, but he has a higher chance to crit. And then I'm actually going to take the Rocky Helmet off off Sir Cat, and actually give it to Gyarados just for now. And with this, I think I should be prepared for this. Because if you haven't played this game before, we are about to get jumped by Shauna, Trevor, and Tierno. And we have to fight them back to back to back without a chance to, like, stop and fight and heal in the middle. Okay, hey, do you know what's about to happen? Of course. That's right, we're gonna battle. We are Pokemon trainers, after all. So, this is definitely the easy mode version, because obviously if you're playing this game randomized, like if you're playing this game like fully randomized, you can make it so they have 6 Pokemon each, effectively making an 18 Pokemon gauntlet. Fortunately, I'm not playing that, so yeah, I'm kind of playing easy mode version. So we knock out the Delcatty, her second Pokemon will be Goodra, and this Goodra is going to be a bit of an issue, honestly, because it just has really good moves available to it. So I am going to switch to Sparks, and to be honest, this Goodra kind of scares me more than pretty much anything else in this boss rush, and the fact that it carries Earthquake is a little scary. I'm going to go for Secret Sword because I know it hits on the physical defense, as opposed to Goodra's special defense, which is like base 150. That was a lot of damage. I don't like that. Okay, so now here's my options. I can guarantee another hit, or I can sack one of these two. I think my best option here is probably just go for another hit and actually sack Sparks. It's probably a terrible decision in the long term. Maybe Sparks crits? No, okay. So, Dragon Pulse hits Sparks for a second time, and we lose Yanmega. Honestly, I do feel a bit bad for doing that, because I know Yanmega was super close. I know it was super close to getting Air Slash and Bug Buzz. If I'd given it a few more levels, it would have been there. Okay, so, now I can switch into Hawlucha and go for Flying Press, and this should hopefully finish off the Goodra. And it does. Fantastic. Now, her last Pokemon will be Chesnaught. Okay, I'm going to assume this thing's going to go for Spiky Shield outright, so I'm going to go for Roost. No, it goes for Seed Bomb, okay. That doesn't... Actually, that did more than I would have liked. I'm going to Roost. There we go. I'm going to Roost to heal up, and it uses Spiky Shield to protect itself that turn. Now, I can come in with the Flying Press, and that should probably one-shot, because it's quad effective stab, and Flying Press also hits Flying type, so that is a... It's not ideal, because I did still lose Sparks, but I have my 2 potential Pokemon that I needed. Like, I have my 2 Pokemon that I brought in case I needed to sack something, just in case. Battles with friends are really, really exciting. Yeah, but you killed my Yanmega, partially because I stayed in, but whatever. That reminded me of our battle in Couriway Town. That was the first time for both of us to battle with our Pokemon. Hi, hello. So now Trevor and Tierno have arrived. What are you two up to? Nothing big. How about you guys? Well, I have the same thing as you. We heard about from the Professor and we came running as fast as we could. Hey, so can we have a Pokemon battle? Sorry to just throw that at you. You know it's weird. You know it's out of character when Tierno is challenging you to a battle. But hey. This is the last time we fight all 3 of them, so you fight them as a little boss rush. Talonflame is one of the 2 Pokemon that I was worried might outspeed Hayataro, which is why I brought Water Spout and the Choice Scarf. And that just one-shot. Fantastic. So now, he'll go to a Crawdaunt, which is why I brought 2 Pokemon, which is partially why I brought 2 Pokemon with Intimidate, because I'm going to predict the Crabhammer coming in here. So Crabhammer comes in no doubt here. There we go. It misses Gyarados, that's actually super good. Now, I'll actually switch to Granbull to get a second Intimidate drop-off, so now its attack is effectively cut in half. And even if it hits, we won't take anywhere near as much damage. And I guess the game played it smart there, okay. So I will actually switch back to Gyarados, and then probably back to Granbull and hope he doesn't go for multiple Swords Dances in a row. Because if he goes for multiple Swords Dances in a row, I might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, Crabhammer lands at at +1. That did 52. So this will go back to neutral now. No, wait. No, wait, that was neutral. So now it's, wait. No, that should be -2, I think. Night Slash does still a lot, but it is double my Pokemon's level. Now, I'm just gonna... Okay, to be honest, yeah, that was a stupid play on my part. I don't know why I thought Granbull of all Pokemon would outspeed, but whatever, we'll be okay. So now I bring Hawlucha back out. Hawlucha can now come in and just go for Flying Press, and then his last Pokemon will be Roserade. I don't know if this will one-shot, though. It doesn't quite one-shot. However, we now outspeed, and I know this thing won't have Aqua Jet. Crawdaunt doesn't naturally get Aqua Jet. It has to get it via, like, an egg move, I think. So with that, we get rid of that, and now his last Pokemon is Roserade. So I'm just going to go for Wing Attack, and maybe I'll look out and get a crit? Who knows? So we get a decent amount of damage. We nearly one-shot. Poison Point lands, which isn't ideal. But I think, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you actually get healed before you fight Trevor. So I'm not too worried. Okay, so that is, so with that, Wing Attack lands the second time, knocks out Roserade, and that is Tierno defeated. So that is 2 out of the 3 kind of bosses, I guess, down. It's weird, but I didn't get that down when I lose to you. I mean, you've battled me 3 times, and honestly, that's more times than I think. Like, that's more times than I ever remember. Wow, Tierno asking someone to battle? What's up with that? Well, Geosange Town made me think. If he hadn't been there, I wouldn't be dancing now, that's for sure. That made me want to know him better, and I thought a battle would be the best way to do that. It's kind of selfish of me, I guess, but it's also a way of thanking him. Tierno, it's great when it's great when Pokemon trainers like us can understand the hearts and minds of other trainers and their Pokemon through battle. But before we do anything else, we should heal your Pokemon. Okay, thanks, Trevor. I think I'll follow the crowd and I'll be your opponent as well. But this time it won't be about the Pokedex, it'll be a Pokemon battle. So, I think this is actually the second and last time you ever fight Trevor. So, Trevor will not be all that much of an issue for me, I hope. However, Raichu could be an issue. I know it won't be carrying Focus Blast, but I want to keep a bit safe. So I'm just going to go straight out to Gliscor. I'm going to switch right out to Gliscor, and hope this didn't go for an electric move. Okay, it went for Nuzzle. It going for Nuzzle actually would have been a disaster for me. So I'm very glad about that now. Okay, Night Slash lands for a little under half. So I'll go for another Night Slash, because I assume all of this thing could actually hit me with a Slam now. Because it probably has, what, Thunder Wave, maybe Thunderbolt, Nuzzle, and I suppose Slam. So Slam is hitting for, what, like 20 damage each time? And a third Night Slash knocks out the Raichu. Trevor will also have an Aerodactyl and a Florges. The Aerodactyl is why I gave Hayataro the Choice Scarf. He goes to Florges next. And I think I should be okay here. I'm going to go for Acrobatics. I'm going to go for Acrobatics and hopefully that nearly... Okay, nearly one-shot. It sets up Misty Terrain next. That's a little scary, maybe. However, I think I can just go for a second Acrobatics and knock out the Florges. And now it's just the Aerodactyl left, which is a very fast Pokemon. I don't know if it outspeeds Talonflame. And if it outspeeds... basically, I don't know if it outspeeds the Talonflame, and if it doesn't outspeed the Talonflame, it doesn't outspeed Hayataro now. However, it does outspeed Gliscor, so I can kind of get a little bit of a read on how fast it is from there. So let's have a quick look. That is faster than 128. So that means my other Pokemon are faster than it. I will go for a U-turn here then, I suppose, because we get outspared, but we'll just eat that for breakfast, I suppose. Now, that is pretty bad. Okay. I think this is dangerous now, but I'm gonna risk a U-turn. I really shouldn't, but I'm gonna risk the U-turn. Okay, we snap out, we land the U-turn, and we go back, and now we switch into Hayataro. We switch into Hayataro, who finishes this off with a Water Spout. Because that should be enough. That should be enough, and that will bring this kind of little boss rush to an end. And with that, we win with only 2 losses and only 1 actual, like, major one. But hey, I will take the win where I can. You're even stronger than I thought. Well, yeah, you haven't fought me since I had 1 badge. I was like level 10. I was like level 12 last time we had a fight. Actually, no, I was like level 14 or 17 or something. Whatever. There's so much I still don't know. Do I just not have what it takes? Wow, I don't think I've ever heard you worry about being weak or strong before, Trevor. You seem a lot bolder than you used to be. Is it because you went on a journey? Or maybe it's thanks to what you learned from being with your Pokemon and with us, your friends. I mean, realistically, Trevor was barely here. Speaking of which, where's Serena? She's off training with a Mega Evolution Guru. She said friends are friends even if they can't be together. Indeed. Well, there's something we must attend to. Be seeing you. And with that, Shauna is the last one to leave again. I'm so glad I went on a journey. I made some great friends. And thanks to my little chessman that I met before we left, I was able to visit many places, meet a lot of nice people, and make many wonderful memories. This is from us. So now we get the HM, for Waterfall, which is kinda nice. Even if you're battling without the badge from the Snowbelle City gym, you can use Waterfall. I've got to get going. See ya. Okay, so with that, that's a hint that the next time we see Serena, she will have access to Mega Evolution. And also, well, the professor mentioned something. Wait, is that over here? Yes, it is. A Cassib berry, okay. So, basically, our friends are now, assumably, doing something, the professor's doing something, and Serena is off training. So pretty much, we now just have one thing left to do. And now that we've arrived in Snowbelle City, which actually has my favourite town music in the entire game, I think. Pretty much, we now just have one badge left to get. So, with that, I'm going to heal up and actually probably end off today's episode here. Yeah, because we are now at about 35 minutes. So next time, pretty much in the next episode, I will be making my way through the Winding Woods to the Pokemon Village, then coming back and winning our final badge. Hopefully we won't have any major losses in the next episode, but hey, anything could happen. I also need to remember to take the luck incense from Sparks. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end off today's episode here, and I will hopefully see you all on Monday, I believe, for more Pokemon. And as always, feel free to leave a comment or click any of the buttons down below if you feel so inclined, and I will hopefully see you all on Monday for more Pokemon. Okay, thanks for watching. Later.